Welcome back. In our last episode, we introduced classes in TypeScript and saw how to create reusable blueprints for objects. Today, we're taking classes to the next level with inheritance, allowing us to create more specialized classes from existing ones. What is inheritance? Well, in TypeScript, inheritance allows us to create a new class based on an existing one. This lets us build on existing functionality and create subclasses that inherit properties and methods from a parent class. A great analogy for inheritance is a family tree. Imagine you have a generic animal class. From this class we can create a more specific animal like a dog, a cat, or a bird, each of which inherits the properties and behaviors of animal but can have additional unique features. So let's start with the base class here. I already made it. It's called animal, which will have some common properties and methods that every animal should have. This animal class has properties, name, and age, as well as a method makeSound that we can override later in more specific animal classes. Now, I already made the dog class, so you'll just have to type with me. Dog here inherits from animal with the extends. You see here, it tells TypeScript that dog is a child of animal and should inherit its properties and methods. So now dog can do makeSound, which is woof woof. Now if we run this, we can make it do some stuff. And there you go. Now here it says woof woof and buddy is a golden retriever because you set the name and age from super and then you added the breed. And we have woof woof and we have name and we have breed. Now, in this code, dog inherits from animal. We added a new breed property unique to dogs, and we used the super keyword in the constructor to call the parent's class's constructor. We also overrode makeSound to give dog its own specific sound. So we have makeSound here and makeSound here. Now, because we implemented it with different implementation, it says woof woof here. Now, if we delete this and we save it, we compile it again, and then we run it, it says animal sound, because then it uses the one that was defined in the superclass. Now, if you want to override it and make it specific for a dog, which is what we did, and we run it again, now it says woof woof. So that's how you override a function from a superclass. Now, in TypeScript, subclasses can override methods from their parent classes, as we did with makeSound in the dog class. We can still access the parent method by calling super.methodName if needed. So we can have our own implementation, but also call super. So let's see it here with cat. So we have cat here, and then we save the file, and then we run it. And you see, now it says animal sound because we set super here. See, calls the animals makeSound method, and we added the console log for meow. So it did both. It ran the super, so it ran the method from the base class here, from its parent, but also it added its own functionality to it. Classes allow us to add unique properties and behaviors to each subclass. For example, let's say bird has a fly method that's unique to it. Let's see how that works. So you see the bird class has a unique fly method here, right? And a can fly property, which is a boolean, which determines whether the bird can fly. This shows how each subclass can have its own unique features and still reuse logic or features from the base class or the super. Now let's run it, and here we see it. We say here, Polly is flying because we have created the new bird and we call the fly method on the bird. And now it has its own fly method, and even if we call here, we say parrot dot, and you see we can call makeSound in there because it extends from animal. Now we didn't override it, so it will use the default implementation or the implementation of its parent. So let's run it again, save it. There you go, animal sound, see? And now if we want to, we can still override it like we did here and make our own custom implementation when it's necessary. That's it for inheritance in TypeScript. Now let's go over an exercise. So I want you to create a vehicle class with properties, make, and year. Then create two subclasses, car and motorcycle. Add specific methods or properties to each subclass, such as number of doors for car and has sidecar, I said sidecar, that's not what I meant, has sidecar for motorcycle. We pause here, try it, and then we're gonna review a solution. Remember, you can add as many things as you want. It's just my solution for this problem, but go ahead and throw in whatever you want in these classes. Make them as unique and beautiful as you want them to be. All right, let's go over the answers real quick. So here I've made a class vehicle, which has a make and a year. And here I have car, which extends vehicle and has a number of doors. And it added it to I added it to its constructor right here. And I have the same for motorcycle, and this one has sidecar boolean, which I added to its constructor. And now they are both extending vehicle and also have their unique own properties. We can also add functions to them if you'd want to. Go ahead, do whatever you want, but I'm not going to do it right now in this tutorial. So in this exercise, car and motorcycle both inherit from vehicle, but each have their own unique properties. Great job if you created these subclasses successfully, and an even greater job if you added a lot of functions and made them cooler, or even inherit a function from vehicle, like we saw earlier in the exercise with animal. An animal is a classic example from basically any programming course. Same with vehicle, car, motorcycle. These are all classic examples. So you can go ahead and expand on them if you want and make some beautiful classes and some beautiful inheritance. I hope you enjoyed today, because we learned inheritance to extend classes, creating specialized versions of a base class with unique features. Inheritance is also a core concept in object-oriented programming. It helps us organize and reuse code efficiently. And in the next episode, we will dive deeper into interfaces and how they work with classes in TypeScript. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Be sure to click the bell button and to click the subscribe button. I hope you have a great day. Happy programming. Bye.